5 signings Manchester United need to make in the summer. Number 1, a new centre-back. Whilst a lot of people dislike Harry Maguire, I personally don't think he's a dreadful player. He can be, in my opinion, one of the best centre-backs in the world, but his problem is that he's too inconsistent. He's not Man United quality, and on his current form is definitely not worth his 80 million price fee. I think that a good fit for the role would be Sven Botman, but due to his heavy links with Newcastle, I think this would be fairly unlikely. So another potential candidate that I think would fit nicely into the side is Milan Skriniar. Whilst not the fastest, Botman is a very good defender, confident with the ball at his feet and young, which means he hasn't hit his full potential yet and could become a very good player at Old Trafford. His awareness of the game is excellent, and despite his age, has taken a commanding position at Lille, and I can see him being a future captain at the club. Like I mentioned earlier, Botman does have strong ties to Newcastle, and so a move would be unlikely. But I think if Manchester United can steal him from under Newcastle's noses, then that would be a very good move for the club. I'd say this transfer would be a huge success if the club managed to achieve it, but it's probably not very likely to happen. Probability, 4 out of 10. I personally think this move is more likely to happen than Sven Botman. Slightly faster than Botman, Skriniar also boasts strength and fantastic defending. His ability to read the game is fantastic, and he seems confident enough with the ball at his feet. He's probably hitting his prime about now, turning 27 last February, and so probably has another 3 or 4 years of quality defending in him. This transfer would be good for the club and would definitely give them more depth in centre-back, so Skriniar could turn out to be a good signing for the club. Probability of it happening, 6 out of 10. Number 2, another fullback. I know we have loads of depth in this position already, Shaw, Telles, Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, but none of them can really go toe-to-toe with the best Premier League fullbacks at the minute, the likes of João Cancelo, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Andy Robertson and Reece James. A man that I think is often overlooked whilst playing at a club with such giant names as Benjamin Pavard, and I think he has potential to not only be one of the best right-backs in the Premier League, but also of all time. Tall, strong and quick, Pavard is one of, if not the best, fullback in the Bundesliga. He can cross, tackle, and is diverse enough to play as a centre-back if he needs to. Pavard would bring a certain dignity to the squad, a calmness out wide during defence, and an attacking threat when needed up front. Whilst unexpected, Pavard is everything that United need at the moment, and until Dalot and Wan-Bissaka begin hitting form again, I think Pavard could be a good replacement. Probability of it happening, 5 out of 10. Numbers 3 and 4, central midfielders. First things first, let's give credit where credit's due. Recently, Fred has been playing very well for the club. Alongside Ronaldo, De Gea and Sancho, Fred's been a diamond in the rough. But all it takes is a bad turn and our midfield's a shambles. Bruno is an excellent attacker with a devastating right foot that can silo pass through defences, but he has no defensive work rate. The defence relies on the men in front of them to push back and support, and when they don't, the defence is outmanned and dismantled. McTominay is an average midfielder, not the outstanding one that we need, and Fred, like Maguire, is too inconsistent to continuously make it into the first team. With Pogba leaving next season, we desperately need more midfield players in the squad. So the question is, who should they be? A lot of people would choose Rice or Neves, but I think that the 2 players that I've selected are of similar quality, if not better, and could be brought to the club for a lower cost. If nothing else, this Dutch midfield duo would provide much needed depth in the team, as well as skill and control in the roles. Young and skillful, Gravenberch is being compared to Pogba, De Jong, and even the next Ruud Gullit. At only 19, Gravenberch is the brightest talent in the Eredivisie, and one of the most promising teenagers in the world. His control of the ball is, quite frankly, phenomenal, and his dribbling and passing make him the ideal holding midfielder. In the Dutch league this season, he has a pass completion rate of 86% and one of the best tackle rates in the league. Allegedly, Manchester United have been contacting him, which makes this the most likely move to happen, and it would be fantastic if it does. Probability of it happening, 8 out of 10. Alongside Botman and Gravenberch, I want them to complete the Dutch trifecta with another skillful midfielder that currently plays at Barcelona. Frankie de Jong is a very good player and could be lured away from the Catalan club by a sufficient wage. A few years back, de Jong was the brightest upcoming star in world football, the next big thing. But in recent years, he has fallen off the mark a bit, arguably outshadowed by the younger Pedri and definitely outshadowed now by the giants from the Premier League such as De Bruyne and Pogba. If he joins United, he would surely be able to shine once again. He has a lethal pass and is able to pop up with the occasional goal and assist, with 3 goals and 3 assists in the La Liga this season. It's an unlikely transfer, but would be a beneficial one. Probability of it happening, 4 out of 10. And finally, number 5, a new striker. Cavani and Ronaldo are getting old. Martial's never really reached the heights expected of him. It's the only next decision that a striker be brought into the club. There's been somewhat of a curse with the last few strikers. Falcao, Lukaku, Zaha amongst them. But I think that this man would fit the bill perfectly. The next Swedish sensation, Alexander Isak. Dubbed by many as the next Zlatan, Isak must have a lot of pressure on his shoulders, but he does deserve the expectations that he has been set. He can score from ridiculous places, has a decent enough weak foot, and fantastic placement from his shots. He's young enough to be able to improve, yet mature enough to control the game from the front and appear silently to slot away a finish when it counts. He's tied more towards Arsenal than Manchester United, but there is a chance that he could be persuaded to sign a contract in the summer. Probability of it happening, 5 out of 10. So there you go. That's the 5 positions that I think Manchester United should sign in the summer, and my opinion as to who they should bring in to fill that position. Feel free to like and subscribe, or if you disagree or think it should be someone else, feel free to leave a comment explaining why. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.